Hello and welcome back, nephews and nephettes. It's your favorite Uncle Major. This is my video for the Halloween of the year 2024. For this lovely celebration, which means nothing where I live by the way, I prepared some cosplay ideas that came up based on some enemies from Resident Evil 4, both OG and Remake. This is a different video from the others of my channel because it's all about fashion. I will be showing you all items you need to make each character, but I'm not going to give you a build around it because most of them have more than just one weapon that you can choose from. But I'll try to give you some insight for some potential builds. Also, because this video is for players just looking for some cosplays and not exactly a build video, I won't be showing you where to get these items because there's a lot of them to cover here, and that would make this video super long. Actually, I think it would be kinda tedious if you come to think of it. It's like 35 items mentioned here or something like that. If it happens for you to not know where to get an item, you can check a wiki or you can ask me in the comments that will gladly answer your question. And finally, if you would like to see an in-depth video on one of those characters that I'm about to show you, let me know in the comments. So nephews, let's start from the same place as Resident Evil 4, the village. First, I would like to show you the common Ganados villagers. Starting with the male that will be calling him Sebastian Cortes. For armor, Sebastian has no headgear and an outer war surgeon for armor chest. The hands can be the blood-soaked machetes or simply no armor, which I think looks the best. And for legs, I like the page trousers the most, but it can also be many other options like war surgeon trousers, preceptor's trousers, traveler's slops. Now, for weapons, the options are very few. Consider the villagers in Area 4 mostly use tools as weapons. Things like axe, knives, cleavers, pitchforks. So the first weapon I have to show you is the hand axe, which I think is the weapon that looks the best for this character. You can also use the torch as a secondary weapon. And to stretch the options a bit more, we can use the 3 Celebrant's weapons. The Celebrant's sickle, rake and cleaver. And let's not forget those homing axes and dynamites the villagers throw. For that, you can use the crookeds as axe, and to replace the dynamite we can use their fire pot, red maiden fire pot or volcano pot. Pick what you like the most. Possible builds for Sebastian would be a arcane path infused weapon with blood affinity, a pure strength, pure dex, or a quality build. Anything that deals elemental damage or status effects other than blood loss is kinda out of character, apart from the torch. Now, to create a character that looks like a villager is not that hard. You can simply pick one of the plates. Oh my god, my cats are demolished the house. You can simply pick one of the templates of the game and make them older. The way I create Sebastian here was from the loaner as a template. To make one very close to Sebastian here, go to Detail Appearance and set the age to Aged, of course, and in outer facing hair, pick the hair number 16, aka the Giga Jet Widow pick. The color is up to you, but it's nicer if you gave him some white hairs. For eyebrows, select number 5 for the brushy brows. And for beard, you can select number 3, 10 or 12, whatever you like the most. Next, make him a bit more bloodlust. Starting with the eyes, you can select whatever color you want for his eyes, but the cloudy color should be a dark red and the opacity must be adjusted in a way that makes his eye color just a bit reddish. And the eye white color should be a crimson-like color. After you are done with the eyes, head towards Tattoo tab and select Tattoo number 10. Adjust it to make it bigger, that's what she said, and a bit angled towards one side. Pick a dark red color and voila, you have a murderous male village Ganado. Male, but how about a female? Let me present you, Maria Torres. Yeah, wow, my creativity is up the roof. So Maria here basically uses almost the same weapons and consumables as Sebastian. I don't think female villagers use axes, but they use something that their male counterpart don't. Knives. And for that we have the bloodstained dagger, which fits perfectly for her murderous instinct. And of course, she wears a completely different armor set. It was a bit hard to find something that would closely resemble a female villager, so what I got was no armor for the head or hands, an outer festive garb for chest, and for legs anything that give her some shoes, like commoner shoes or aristocrat shoes. The best one in my opinion is the finger maiden shoes. And the process to make her own character creator is almost the same as Sebastian. Pick the loner as template, make her older and change her hair to tan and give her some white hairs. The rest is the same as the male, make her eye more red and add a splash of blood as a tattoo. But if you want a unique female village, we have one of those chainsaw sisters for that. So the weapon closest to chainsaw is the giant pizza slicer, aka Giza's Quill. And for armor, again, it was super hard to find something to make similar to the ones in Resident Evil. What I ended up was blood-soaked mask for head, an outer aristocrat's garb for chest, blood-soaked machetes for arm, and a blue-silver mail skirt. You can replace the chest piece for the blood-soaked tabard or tabard, I don't know, or the legs for a sanguinary noble's waistcloth, show cloth, bitch lasagna. After spending a long time looking for a skirt that would fit this character, I noticed that this game lacks options for this. Most of them are just dressed instead. No need to fiddle with the character creations for this one. Just make her old and, female. Now, because there's just one weapon for this character, I can recommend you a few items to create a possible build. For talismans, Lord of Blood Exaltation, aka the Low, is a good option because of the bleed status effects built into the weapon. Two-handed sword insignia increases damage by 15% because two-handedly the pizza slices is how you're supposed to use it. And Shard of Alexander to boost the slicing capability of the skill. I would like to point out a few things about this weapon, starting from the fact that although you can continuously attack with the skill while you hold the skill button, that is not a chargeable skill. So Icon of Godfrey doesn't boost this skill in any way, and hits coming from this skill also don't count towards consecutive hits for the Winged Sword Insignia, Millicent's Prosthesis or Thorny Crack tier. But the charged heavy attacks of this weapon keep spinning for a while after each swing, and those do count towards consecutive hits. But the first charge attack ends almost behind your character, so I don't know how useful focusing on consecutive hits boosts would be for this weapon. And finally, the blood build-up of this weapon provides is fixed, so no attribute can raise it. Now let's move on from the village and do the Brazilian way of inviting ourselves to go inside the castle. And as soon as we enter it, we are greeted by the Zealots, or cultists. I don't know, I always call them cultists, but it appears they're actually called Zealots, so whatever they are, you know what I'm talking here. They decide to take a different approach from the village and went the going medieval on your ass route. These fanatics are armed with maces, flails, scythes, crossbows, shield. So I select a few weapons from Elden Ring that match to Samson from Resident Evil 4. Starting with the flails. You can opt in for the standard flail or the Knight Rider's flail. In my opinion, both fits the theme quite well. You can also use them in tandem with the Lord Sword shield or the Spike Palisade shield. I playtest a little bit using the flail plus shield combo and it worked better than I imagined. To my surprise, even procs bleed faster than the next selection of these weapons, the scythes. If you prefer the Grim Reaper style, both the standard scythe or the Obsidian Lamina are nice thematic choice for the Zealots, but they must be two-handed of course. And for crossbow, the one similar to used in RE4 is the heavy crossbow, but I recommend you use the spread crossbow instead. Now for armor, it's quite simple what to use, but it will differ if your character is a male or a female. For male zealots, the headpiece should be the Confessor hood, fierce robes for chest, no armor for hands, and anything that gives them some shoes, like finger-made shoes, commoner shoes. Unfortunately, not wearing a hood doesn't fit well with male characters because of fierce robe, even if Kotaku says otherwise. Or for female characters, it fits well with or without the Confessor hood. You can even switch it for the fierce hood. Alternatively, you can replace the chest armor for Ansbach attire and legs for Ansbach for both genders, but they will look a bit too fashion compared to ones in Resident Evil. But we cannot deny that this set looks dapper. To make them on character creation is quite simple. Just remove all hair, eyebrows and facial hair. Doesn't matter if they are male or female. Make their skin a tone of grey with a slight tint of blue. Like really tiny of blue. And just like the villagers, make the clown of the eyes red and increase until the iris starts to become red. And make the white of their eyeball also a bit red until you see the hatred boil in their eyes. In cosmetic, add some upper and lower shadow in a black tone and also some black lipstick for both genders. Face shape is not really that important, but I noticed that in Resident Evil 4 Remake the female Zealots have some rounded faces while the males have a more vertical, big nose look. Tips that I can give to create a build around these items is definitely go to the arcane path. Set the flails and scythes affinity to cold, independent what weapon you use, equip the Lord of Blood's Exaltation Talisman aka the Loop. And if it is the scythe that you're going to use, then add the two-handle talisman insignia to the list. The rest is up to you if you prefer a more offensive or defensive build. Next we have an enemy completely remade for the remake of Resident Evil 4. And that is no other than the Summoner, aka
GLORIA a las plagas! GLORIA a las plagas!
Now, for this guy it was a bit hard to find a weapon that would have fit right. In RE4 Remake he uses some kind of a staff and let me hang on it, but just like the original game, this guy spent most of her time running away and letting the Zealots take the blunt, while he invokes
A las plagas!
And the weapon that he has close animation to that is Mogwin's Sacred Spear. For armor, you can use the Omesmerk mask for headgear, Sage's robe for chest armor, throat armor for hands, and for legs it can also be the Sage's trousers or something to give him some shoes. I think if you choose to cosplay this character, it will be nicer in a co-op situation, where you're both your allies and using
A las plagas!
to deal some damage while away from the fight. For this build, Arcane is the main attribute to increase Mogwin's Sacred Spear damage, and this weapon also deals fire damage apart from the thrust and physical, so things like Fire Scorpion Charm, Two-Handle Sword Insignia, Shard of Alexander, and of course, the Loop are excellent choices to increase damage of this weapon, and you can use the Flame Shroud Cracketeer to increase fire damage even further. And I left the best for last, and that is no other than the Garrador. For this guy, I have a complete build for you nephews. First, let's check the only weapon he uses, the hook claws. If it was just a bit longer, it would exactly be like the ones Garrador uses in Resident Evil 4. Because it has bleed built into it, take advantage of this by setting the affinity of this claw to occult. That means your main damage attribute will be arcane. Do you have something to say, Tel? For Ashavor, the most fitting for this build is definitely the Impaling Thrust. For Talisman, you can use the Loop to get that nice 20% increase in damage when bleeding occurs near you. The fast attacks of the claws screen for consecutive hits bonuses, so get yourself Millicent's Prosthesis, Rotted Winged Sword Insignia, or Winged Sword Insignia while you don't have it. The last talisman is up to you. It can be something to boost even more damage like Crusade Insignia, Ritual Sword Talisman, or something focused to support you, like Green Dog Talisman. Add Thorny Cracketeer to your Flasks of Wondrous Physique to boost those consecutive hit bonuses even further. Armor pieces suited to make the Garrador are Blackguard Iron Mask for head, no armor piece for chest, the Zalmor Gloves for hands, or the Iron Rivet Gauntlets, and Blithe Greaves for legs. There's no secret create the Garrador on character's creation, just buff the guy to the maximum. And I have no cosplay for the island because they all use modern equipment, which you know is the completely opposite to what we have in Elden Ring. I don't think their weapons will be a problem because you can pick a spear or a mace and add electricity to it or something like that, but there is no armor like the vests they use. Morrer as viver, morrer as viver, morrer as viver. Esse quero matar. Huh? Oh, that's it for today's video, nephews and nephettes. I hope you like this video. Let me know in the comments below which cosplay you like the most, and let me know if there's one that you would like to see a full build video. And also consider leaving a like and leave a subscription to help your favorite uncle's channel to grow. I would really appreciate that. And the word gets another dubious streamer. Thank you so much for watching my video, and I hope to see your presence on your next one. Take care, nephews.